Hello class. In this video I'm going to show you how to find your way around this Carmen course. So here we are on the home page. This is where you're going to land whenever you log into this course. And if you scroll down here you can see the course video, the course overview video. And then down here some quick links. Here's a quick link to the course policies and information. In other words, the syllabus and related information. And then you can get a quick overview of what's happening in each week of the course. And if you click on these, well, I'll show you where that takes you a little later. For right now, let's before we move on, let me just point out some of these tabs over here on the side. Here you can see my picture in the account. One of the first tasks you have to do for this class is upload a profile picture, if you haven't already done that for some other class. So if you haven't done it already, just come over here and click on Account, and see that's where you can change the profile picture. See, there we go. All right, let's get back out of here. And in fact, I think what I need to do right now is put this on Student View. So from now on, we'll take a look at the screen from your point of view. Okay, so here's what you should see. A blank picture if you haven't uploaded one yet, and this very much shorter list of the module or the tabs that are available to you. Okay. Calendar. Let's take a look at the calendar. So over here in the calendar, you can see things, what's happening during the course. There's really not much. Oh wow, look, there's a final draft due February 15th. There's another final draft due March 8th, and on RP final draft due on in April. But other than that, there's really not very much going on here. So well, I'll explain what's going on with that in a little while. But that's where the calendar is. I recommend looking at that a few times. Inbox. This is, oh, well, okay, I guess with Student View I can't do that. But as an actual student, this is where you can go and look and find your emails from me. This is where I will typically send my emails to you, unless I email you from my phone or something. So, okay, let's get out of there. Let's get out of the calendar. All right, and now let's look at these main tabs over here. So modules. Let's open up the modules. So this is where you're going to spend most of your time in the course. So the very first module that I published that everyone was able to look at was course policies and information. And I took advantage of the Carmen format here to divide all the sections of the syllabus so that each had its own little clickable page. So you can click on just the part that you're interested in. So the course overview, for example, that's my my contact information there. So there I am, Dr. Philip Neal Whitman. I explained about my name earlier. Here's my email address, phone number. Here's my office number, and office hours. Well, it's online. We're only going to meet in person a couple of times for some of the assignments you do. However, I am always happy to meet with you to talk about whatever you have going on inside the class, or just OSU related in general, or if there's any life difficulties or whatever's going on. I would like to help you be successful in this course. So I encourage you to call or email me and arrange to meet me in my office whenever we need to. That's part of my job. And it's always kind of sad when a student has to Google my name and find one of my other email addresses and email me that way, when all they had to do is just come right here and everything they needed was right there waiting for them. Anyway, further course information. I'm assuming you've read this by now because I required it. But let's see, a couple other things. So course objectives, course materials, course requirements and evaluation. I have a couple of comments about that. So here you can see I've divided all the assignments into these main categories here. And if you click on these, you can go to the modules for these particular groups of assignments and learn more. It looks like this one, Style Manual, is going to be 25% of the course. And this is a little different. This is an assignment that I have had and have not had various times I've taught this course, but this time I am bringing it back and I am really putting the focus on it because this is where we're going to make an intensive focus of learning what academic papers look like in your own particular field of study. And this is going to involve a lot of group work because I'm trying to group people into students who have more or less similar fields of study. To make this class more personalized for them. So yeah. In fact, this is the assignment that was taking me so long to do that I was late in getting out the welcome video. So you'll hear more about this later on. There are some other smaller things here, but annotated bibliography, comparative summary, and research paper and style manual. These are sort of the heart of the course, where you're going to be learning to recognize how writing is done and try to do some of that writing in academic writing style. A bit about late assignments. You know, for the most part, that is not applicable for this course because, well, we'll talk about due dates in a little bit. Here's the grading scale, passing the course. Okay, so two things. Your course grade has to be greater than or equal to 60%, a D. So a D, not a nice grade, not a pretty grade, but it is a passing grade. Every semester someone wants to know that, and D is a passing grade. However, and I'm going to emphasize this later as well, there is an additional requirement. The overall grade on the research paper project has to be a C- or above. So the research paper project here, even though it's only 20% of the course grade, you have to pass this because this course is about learning to avoid plagiarism, basically, and use academic writing and use other people's writing in your work, as you hopefully remember from the introduction video. And if you have not managed to do this by the end of the course, we can't let you leave. You need to master this so you don't get in trouble in writing for your other classes or writing for publication. Okay, so much for the requirements and evaluation. Let's see, anything else? Descriptions of the assignment group. So this tells more about, you know, the research paper assignment, the style manual assignment. So click on that to find out what they're about. Academic integrity. So this is on every syllabus at Ohio State. It's about cheating and plagiarism. So I encourage you to read this. If you've probably read it in other syllabuses. But there's one piece of good news here. In this class, even though you're going to be using more of other people's work than you do in probably any other class, I think you have less to worry about doing plagiarism here, because here I am expecting a lot of accidental plagiarism, and part of the whole point of this course is to point it out and show you how to correct it and avoid it in the future. So if plagiarism, accidental plagiarism comes up in the course of these assignments, that's fine. There are going to be a lot of assignments where I say, paraphrase this, and if you don't do it well enough, you still get credit and you learn how to do it better. However, if it looks like if you've done deliberate plagiarism, if you're trying to hide from me the original source of some work and present something as if it's your own, then we have problems. And that's going to result in the Committee on Academic Misconduct. And, I haven't had to do that for years in this class. But again, please, use sources. Use sources. Use sources. That's what this class is all about. But you have to tell me the sources you use and do it in an academically respectable way. That's what this class is all about. Okay, and these are some other important things to read, but they're in every syllabus. I encourage you to read them, and in fact, you have to read them in order to move on. I'll explain that in a little bit. And if you would like to have this all in one document or print it out, you can click on the PDF here and get that. Okay, so let's collapse this course policies and information here. But notice there's a check mark here and a check mark here. And let's see, any other check marks? No, these are the ones that we viewed. We viewed the course overview. We've looked at the academic integrity part of the course, and nothing else. Now, it says complete all items. Well, oh well, that's not important, right? What if I don't do that? Then we come to week 1. Hey, what's the problem? Why can't I click on anything here? These items are all grayed out because you need to do the prerequisite, the course policies and information module. So that's right, in this online course I can insist that everybody reads the syllabus, or at least that you click on a page and then open it up and don't read it and then come back. But you got to do that in order to move on to the next module. Okay, and now do I have a check mark here? Yeah, there we go. All right. So, well, we can still read what the assignments are. So you see we have a module for every week. And within each week, and again, it says complete all these items. So what do you have to do with these items? Well, if you look underneath here, you have to view this. You have to view this. You have to view this, view this. Oh, here's something you actually have to do. A Canvas profile picture. Okay, so you can see what is required for each of these items to complete it and then move on. But again, you can do this at your own pace. So this says week 1, January 7th through 11th, but if you do it by, in just one day, or if you take 2 weeks to do it, well, that's kind of up to you, depending on your own personal schedule. There are no due dates on these assignments. So look, assignment, Canvas profile picture. There's not a due date, but you have to do it in order to move on to week 2. And so on through the other weeks. Now, let's scroll down a little bit further, and we can see that underneath these modules are some other modules, and you will recognize that these modules are divided according to the kinds of assignments listed in the syllabus, in addition to some preliminaries like do your profile picture, watch this, create a Carbon Connect account, etc. Okay. So if you are curious which things are related to the annotated bibliography, for example, you can click and find all of these various tasks here. Now, all of these things that you see here, they also appear in these various weekly modules up here as I've portioned them out. Okay, so you can do that with any of these assignments. And by the way, I've also made it so that you have to complete all of these things as well. So, and I'm a little curious to see how it'll work having a single assignment in both modules. But I think it should work out okay. If it brings up problems and it's causing trouble, let me know, and then I will figure out how to deal with it. Finally, a couple of more modules here at the end. Grammar. These are some useful grammar resources that I will assign. I will assign some of them as part of various assignments. Not all of them. You're welcome to browse through these and click on what seems useful or interesting. And finally, videos. So suppose you remember watching a pretty useful video, but you can't remember what week you watched that video, and you can't quite remember which assignment it related to. So instead of having to look through all the modules, you can just go down to the videos module, and I do my best to have all the videos in here, and so you can just search through them here and watch them again. Okay, so all that is about the modules. Let's take a look at grades. Okay, so here you can see all the actual things that you have to turn in. So the modules have actual deliverable assignments and things, but they also have videos and readings and some other things in there that are not something you have to turn in. If you want to see just the actual things you need to submit, then grades is where you can do it. Now, these are all organized strictly alphabetically. They're not divided according to what type of assignment they are. They're just all alphabetical. But notice